Hello guys and welcome back to Birmingham Fan TV. It's Sunday morning and obviously I know there's been no match preview out. I know that there's been no match podcast out for last week and I'm really sorry about that, guys. There was due to be a podcast slash preview special that was rolled into one. We had it recorded and we've had quite a few issues in regards to that one and we didn't manage to get it out. It got uploaded finally after the 6th or 7th attempt at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. It wasn't worth it. So obviously we'll have everything for the Portsmouth game and a podcast for next week. So we're really sorry about that, guys. We're trying our best. But sometimes, the tech goes a little bit wrong and, we struggle sometimes. But welcome back, guys. Obviously, it's been a long summer. It's been the first game that we've been waiting for, and welcome to everybody that subscribed over the summer. I know there was a lot of you. Hopefully you enjoy everything, can stick around for the long run for this one. So obviously we'll get straight into the match thoughts. And it's a difficult one to sum up. Obviously I'm absolutely over the moon. To get our first win on the opening day of the season away from home in 20 years is a big result. To win at Brentford away, big result. To win anywhere away from home in the Championship is a big result. But to do it, obviously, on the opening day against an opposition like Brentford, playing the way we've done with the turbulent summer we've had, such a good result, such a good start to the season, and it can only get better from there. I must have been one of the only few people yesterday that went there expecting something. I actually expected us to get at least a point, because I knew Brentford had the issues of missing a few players, and they're still a club in transition as well. So I thought that obviously it was probably the best time to play them was the start of the season, but I might have been one of a few. Obviously we've gone there and we've implemented the new system. But obviously, I think people are still torn on the new system, if I'm honest. This 3-4-1-2, 3-4-2-1, depending on how Pep decides to go with that forward three line. I still think people are split on it, and obviously let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are on the three at the back system, obviously, because that's the key element to it, is the three and the two wing backs. I personally think it's the way forward, and I think if we can play the system right, it's such an effective system, as showed when we played Brighton, who matched us up and played a three at the back with two wing backs, and yesterday with Brentford playing three at the back and two wing backs. If you can play it to those standards with quality in there, it's at times it's overloading. Teams can't handle it. And obviously, if Blues are clever, which Pep is, and he's a very intelligent football manager, he'll look at obviously how Brentford impose the system onto us and take notes from that. And I think he did, and I think he even learnt as the game went on. He grew into it. We got lucky, first of all. We got lucky. We really rode our luck in the first half. I think it was 20 minutes in, and already Brentford had hit the bar twice. I think Ollie Watkins and one of their new signings, Emiliano, had hit the bar. A one-on-one with Camp. That one was a fantastic save, obviously, from Campy. Who I thought was man of the match yesterday, but we'll get into that one a little bit later on. And we rode our luck. Obviously, you're going to need luck in football. You're going to need luck throughout the season, and we got that yesterday. We got the rub of the green. There's no doubt we should have been 3 down at half-time. Absolutely no doubt. But obviously, football doesn't work on just that. You need the rub of the green. And we go up the other end, and I think Seddon puts a fantastic ball into the danger area. And obviously Pedersen gets the most ridiculous header on. I've never seen a guy who can head a ball as powerfully as Pedersen before, and I said it previously. And it finds its way into the back of the net from outside the box, and I think obviously they were talking about it on the highlights last night about how good of a header that actually was, and I don't think people understand how much power that takes to generate that into the top corner. So obviously the system that we went with in the end was Camp in goal, a back three of Dean, Roberts and Pedersen, the two wing backs being Collan and Seddon, two central midfield players holding of Davis and Gardner. And then 2 in behind the striker of Crowley and Magoma and Jukovic leading the line up top. And I'm so happy, first of all, that Christian Pedersen played at left centre-back. He's a wasted player at left wing-back. He really is. Unless we're going to set up and just defend, there's no point playing him at wing-back. It's not that he's a bad player. It's just that it's almost playing him out of position. That's a very attacking position. And to have him up there is wasted. I thought he was excellent. He was comfortable at left centre-back yesterday. I thought he was one of the best players on the pitch. And the system itself, I think, worked to a certain extent, and it got better again as the game went on. We adapted the system, we changed things slightly, and we really limited Brentford in the second half to next to nothing. Obviously, we went in 1-0 up at half-time. Incredibly lucky to be 1-0 up, but we still went in 1-0 up. And then second half, I thought Brentford were, compared to where they were in the first half, where at times they were scintillating, we couldn't touch them. Some of the football they played was really good. I thought we limited them to nothing. All that they had really was that long diagonal towards Dalsgaard on the right-hand side. And again, that's what I want to touch on, that Pep changed the system when they started to change. And I think that just shows that tactically he's a spot-on coach. He noticed that Brentford, obviously, he'd managed to nullify their forward 3 of Watkins, Emiliano and Canos, with Roberts, Pedersen and Dean stepping onto them as soon as somebody got onto the ball. Wasn't allowed to play those 1-2s in behind. So obviously they weren't breaking through the middle then. So what they had to do was they had to go route 1, diagonal, 40-yard ball across to the right wing-back Dalsgaard, who's very good in the air. And obviously, when he noticed that, he switched the system, took Seddon off, who isn't a very good aerial player, and put Colin there, a little bit more experienced, someone that will manage that game over there, and obviously is fairly good in the air. And I think that just shows that Pep is very good. One criticism I always had of Monk was his tactical substitutions were never, sometimes didn't make sense. They sometimes almost shot us in the foot. I think with Pep yesterday, he got every single one right. He really made the changes as the game went on, and we looked more and more comfortable as the 90 minutes went on, and I think most fans would agree with that. Obviously, they still had some chances, Brentford. That it's not saying that we didn't completely shut them out, and I think that we went on to be really comfortable winners. Obviously, as the 90 went on, as comfortable as you can be. With the debutants coming on as well, he took Crowley off in the end. He brought Sunic on. I thought Crowley was excellent yesterday. He's a completely different breed of player that we need to work in this system. His vision, his touch on the ball, his composure just to stop and look at where the best option is to play a pass. He's going to be really pivotal for Blues this season, and I still stand by he's going to be the best piece of business that we've done, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. Sunic is going to be a fantastic player, no doubt, but Crowley for 750 grand is a bargain, and I think people are going to be really impressed with him. There's going to be some touters next summer if he keeps on playing the way we know he can play. Sunic came on and he didn't have much of the ball, but his tactical positioning, he was leading people. He'd only been on the pitch 20 minutes and he was positioning everyone. You could see that he's a previous captain. A lot of experience and knowledge there, and I think he came on and really shored us up at the back. So that was great to see. And obviously Wes Harding came on. I thought he was excellent when he came on, Wes. He came on in that right wing back position and almost offered us an outlet to get out. Obviously, if Jukovic had run himself into the ground, and obviously if we needed to get out, we'd play up Wes. But I thought everything Pep did yesterday was spot on, and people need to have a bit of faith that he'll get it right. There's going to be some defeats. We're going to get beaten. We're going to get outdone. But to go there, it's not the easiest game to go and try this new system out. It's not the easiest game to go and beat Brentford on possession, because you're not going to do it. You're not going to beat Brentford on possession because they are so good at it and they've been doing it for so long, and it's so ingrained within the club that you're never going to do it. They were very good first half, very poor second half, and we were the complete opposite. We were very good second half, and we were a bit shaky first half. But ultimately, we've come away with the 3 points, and that is, at the end of the day, we talk about stats and how we want to play. It's all that matters. We scored the goal. We've come away with the 3 points. Brentford will feel hard done by, but we've got the points, and that's all that matters in football. Obviously, we're going to go over the player ratings as well, and let me know in the comments down below if you agree with my player ratings, who you'd give out of 10 to each player. Going with my man of the match was Lee Camp, a 9 out of 10. I thought two of the saves he made in the first half were excellent. A couple of good saves second half, very commanding, and a clean sheet to kick the season off with. Colin gets a 7.5, very steady at right wing back. Had to switch positions later on in the game. Thought he did that just as well, and was very good on the ball. Dean a 7, did nothing wrong all game. A little bit quiet in parts. So obviously, a 7 is the standard of what he's going to get. I thought Mark Roberts gets an 8. I thought he was absolutely outstanding yesterday. An absolute rock at the back. Solid in the air. Made some great blocks second half. And I think on the ball he's very, very good. He's going to be one of the best players for me in this system. I think he fits that central of the three very, very well. And obviously I think Blues are now going to see the best of Mark Roberts this season. Pedersen gets an 8 as well. I thought he was very, very good at left centre back. Balances the team out, gives us that left footer on that left hand side. And again in the air, he's superb. I think he's one of the best headers of the ball along with Jukovic. And obviously his goal to top it off gets in the 8. Seddon gets a 7, again very, very solid at left wing back. Few mistakes, but he's very young, it's a learning curve, and I thought he did excellently against players like Sergi Canos out there. He dealt really, really well with it, considering it was his first championship game. The kid's only going to get better in that position. David Davis gets a 7 as well. I actually thought he was really good. His energy was good. He got us up sometimes. He still can't pass the ball, and he still worries me when he's on the ball. But I'm hoping that obviously with time comes a little bit more composure on the ball. I think it's something that all players in this system need to learn, to be a little bit more confident on the ball. And obviously learn to not rush, and I think that's Davis's biggest problem. He rushes and he kicks it out of his feet and he loses the ball. But ultimately I thought he made some good tackles in there. I thought his positioning was really good in front of the back three. And obviously I think he shored us up most of the game. Gardner, I actually thought didn't have a great game. He gets a 6.5 from me. I thought it wasn't awful, but I thought the tackle on Janssen was actually quite a poor tackle, and he could have been sent off for it. Looking back at it, studs were quite high. He was late. He was out of control, and he was lucky just to get the yellow card. And a few times he gave the ball away. He did some good things. Again, his positioning was really good alongside Davis. But we know Gardner can do much better than that, and I'm expecting that from him this season as one of the senior players. Crowley gets a 7.5, very, very good. His awareness, his vision, his through balls were excellent. And I thought, obviously, he got tired towards the end, so to take him off was very good. But he was very tenacious, very composed on the ball, and obviously just gave us some breathing room when he did get on the ball and take the game on himself. I think he completed the most successful dribbles actually in that game out of any other team. So I think he was actually one of the more standout players from both sides. But let me know, obviously, your thoughts on that one. Magomez, 6.5, didn't do much. He's going to have to grow into that role behind the striker. I know he's a natural winger. It's going to take him time. It's not a natural position for him. But I thought at times he was quite lazy. He didn't run for what he should have done. He didn't close down as quickly as he should have done. Almost cost us in the first half with a quick corner that they took, and he just stood and watched. He's got to learn to be a lot more on his toes. Obviously, if he's going to fit into the system, and if he's going to play this season, he's got to get better. And Jukovic gets a 7.5. A monster up front, led the line well. He's not a lone striker, but he did it so well yesterday. Never, ever puts a foot wrong, does Lukas Jukovic. And I honestly thought at times he bullied their back three. I think he really did. 1 against 3, and they're 3 big centre halves for Brentford, and he did really, really well. So obviously, plenty of positives to take from yesterday. I still believe, obviously, just quickly touching on transfers, we need at least 2. Well, we need 2 forwards, at least 1, but we need 2. Ideally, if Vassell's going to go out, which looks like he does, otherwise I'm pretty sure he would have been bought on yesterday, or he would have played yesterday had he have not been sort of on the periphery of leaving. So we need those 2 forwards, obviously. Alvaro Jimenez is one that looks like he's on his way for a medical tomorrow or at some point next week. It looks like he's on his way out. So that'll be, obviously, for 1.5 million, that's not a lot to be thrown at a player, so I don't think that's a very high-risk one. So hopefully it pays off. 20 goals last season. Top scorer in the Segunda Division, I believe. We'll see how that one goes. I think it's going to be another good option. He looks a biggish lad, quite another sort of target man, but a little bit more mobile than Jukovic. And for me, we're going to need another little striker. We're going to need somebody that can fit that Shea sort of build. We need those quick interplays, somebody that can run the channels. Puskas is one that, you know, doesn't seem to be going away. I personally don't believe it's going to happen. I think that we're going to chase other options now, because people saying, well, he's in England with his agent. Yes, Inter Milan played over here yesterday, so that's probably the reason why. I think that they're not able to strike a deal. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope that Blues managed to get something over the line, because he looks like a very, very good player. Vidra was one that was come out yesterday. But I think we need somebody of that Vidra sort of ilk, quick, and he's going to get you 15 goals a season, because we desperately need that firepower up front. And maybe even another midfielder, somebody that's very good technically on the ball, can play another number 10 role but I we're still lacking that alongside Crowley and maybe Mrabti. But we will see. But ultimately, a good win yesterday. A good 3 points that we can take. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of changes for the Portsmouth game, because, you know, the lads are going to be knackered after yesterday. And ultimately, a great start to the season, guys. It couldn't have asked for much more. It was a tough trip, and we managed to come away with 3 points. So hopefully we can get through the Portsmouth game, manage to get a win. Hopefully no injuries. And then obviously go into the game on Saturday at home to Bristol City, and hopefully do the same again. And obviously maybe have a bit more control over the game, and obviously impose that new 3-4-2-1 system onto them, and obviously control the game a little bit better, and have a few more chances to create something, because obviously one shot, we need to have a few more than those at home against Bristol City next week, guys. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your patience. I apologise for no previews. I've had a new job and still trying to move into the house 2 months later. It's difficult, but we are back, and obviously I'm hoping to keep the content up for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. Drop us a like for the video. Show your appreciation for the win yesterday. And obviously, thank you so much for watching, guys. And we'll see you next week for the Portsmouth preview. Keep right on.